Perfect. So thank you again for joining in. We have just one more minute before we start, but I want to take a moment and thank you all for joining. You will see me posting a link to the slides multiple times, and it's mainly because those who are joining the Zoom sessions after I posted the link will not see the previous link. So we are just kind of repeating that process until everyone joins in and has access to the slides. The slides I'm sharing on the screen. If you have a phone, you can do a QR code screen capture and then look at them on your phone if you would like. Or again, through the link in the slides or the link on the main page, we will be sending links to the slides, links to the recordings a day or two after our presentation. So you will have access to those as well. All right. And just so you know, we have around 80 participants registered for today, so it's a fairly big group. I guess my vision for the Lunch and Learn sessions was really to allow participants, instructors, practitioners, tutors to join us maybe during the lunch break. That's why we really don't require you to participate too much because you may be just listening and you may not even be in front of your own computer or you may be on a phone just watching the session to kind of get familiar with some of the tools we are discussing. So that's how, sort of why the format we have. If this is not helpful, if there's anything else you need us to do, let us know. Virtual showcases, I know Alison mentioned virtual showcases a bit earlier, are a bit longer. And usually that's where we have guest presenters. So the upcoming session on Tuesday next week is going to be about learning management systems. And we really are discussing, do you really need the tools or not? How are organizations using the tools and what tools they're using? So if you have friends or anyone who may be interested in that, join the session, learn what we are doing. It may give you some ideas and inspiration for the future as well. We will be discussing tools from Google Classroom to Brightspace in Desire to Learn to Google Sites being used as content and training management tool as well. So I hope those will be helpful for you. But now, mindful of time, it's 12:31, so I'm going to start and make sure that I fit into our 30 minutes today. The recording is on, so hopefully it's okay with all of you. And again, I'm going to put the link to the slides just one more time because as you're joining in, you may want to open them in a separate window. So, a bit about myself. Some of you may know me very well. Some of you may be meeting me or connecting with me for the first time. I have been with AlphaPlus for 20 plus years. Really started in the library when we still were a library with lots of amazing resources. And then we switched to tech and started doing technology training and resources. So that's where kind of my work has been focusing on. I love technology, but I think as many of you, with all of the new features, developments, tools, it gets overwhelming, even for us, those who are using the technology for so many years. So don't feel alone in being confused or surprised with some of the new tools that are coming out. But at Alpha Plus, I do a lot of coaching, training, and workshops. And the coaching is really my focus. So I do work with organizations individually, individual staff members, or teams and groups to make you comfortable with technology as well. Now, the idea for Lunch and Learn sessions is kind of new for us. This is sort of our first year when we are running it. And it was this idea where when we were doing coaching or workshops, we would get asked specific questions. And we would be like, yeah, this is a good question. Others may want to know about that as well. So we kind of started gathering some ideas and some tips and thought maybe those will be helpful for others as well. And that's the Lunch and Learn idea. So hopefully this is your break when you have a chance to sit down, watch the presentation, or if you're eating, that's totally okay too, because this is a lunchtime. So this is, kind of our idea of, you may bring your lunch bag and we are just discussing and talking, but we're doing it online. The goal really is to give you some ideas and tips. This is a 30-minute session. We can't do everything, but I hope that some of the new ideas and resources we share with you will be interesting. And hopefully you will walk away with at least one or two things that you learned about or you may want to explore on your own as well. And today is the Google. And as you know, Google is huge and it has been around for a long time. So just to give you a bit of context with where we are at Alpha Plus with Google and then why the Google topic today, we have been using Google Workspace for quite a while. But even before COVID, we started switching to online and working online mostly. So we work remotely, and Google products became some of the tools we started using right away. So we really got more familiar with it, started using it. And if you have been one of our coaching sites, you may know that we have been helping organizations set up their own Google Workspace accounts for nonprofits. So that's where we started using the tools as well. But as many of you and even ourselves, we are learning that there's so many new features, new tools that are getting added, that sometimes it's actually good to sit down and take a closer look at what's new that you might not even have noticed before, even though you have been using the tools for a while. So even before this session today, it was one of those moments where I was kind of sitting and looking at some of the features that we knew about and wanted to share, but also some of the tools and tips that we even ourselves are just learning about. So hopefully, one of the tools for today or tips for today is take a moment once in a month or so and explore your platform. You will notice things are moving, things are shifting, new wording, new vocabulary, and new features are coming up a lot. So, with that in mind, I hope I can engage you for a bit just to kind of get you into the topic of Google. So, on the screen, you're going to see a question, and I'm using a tool called slido.com for you to give me your feedback or to participate in this. You can do it two ways. If you have your phone handy, you can take your phone, scan the QR code, and the question will pop up on the screen. You will be able to answer. Or if it's a bit easier, you can go to a website called slido.com, put in the number, and that will allow you to answer the question as well. I know some of you may not be ready or even willing to participate in this, but if you are, I will really encourage you to try it. And then we will see some of your feedback on the screen as your responses are coming in. It just gives us an idea and basis for the discussion today about Google products. And you can see in the top right corner, I can see some 7 participants, 9 participants have answered the question, and you can see the numbers of years are changing. But I can see some of you are using Google for less than a year. And I think that's one of the shifts and changes we are seeing with many programs, that in the past, we all relied on Microsoft tools. We had our computers, our desktops. With COVID-19, we kind of shifted to more online, and then we started using Office 365 with the online platforms, and some of us started using Google products. So if you have been using it for a while, you may be very comfortable with it. And those of you who are just starting, it can get overwhelming. And I always tell programs and those I work with that, you know what, when I started, I was able to do a presentation about Google within an hour, and there was a lot of small features, but quickly, it was easy to quickly learn them. Now there's so much, right? So again, we are not going to cover everything today, but I hope that it will give you some ideas and then some tips to just kind of try some new things as well. So I can see 20 of you participated. Many of you are kind of around 5 years, which is amazing. Some of you around 10 years, and then even some of you more than 10 years. So it's been a while that Google has been around. So thank you for participating and giving us some ideas. But again, I also can see that some of you are newer to Google, so I understand how that may be overwhelming as well. Now, before I jump in some of the tips, if you're newer to Google or you're just starting, I really kind of just wanted to mention Google Workspace versus Gmail. And I think you know, many of you know this, but when you are using Google products and you're using a Gmail account that ends with at gmail.com, we usually refer to it as a personal Gmail account. And it usually really was something that you may use for your personal use, or some of the programs starting to use Google may use a Gmail accounts just to start exploring the tools and using Gmail with the learners and with each other as well. Those are usually free, gives you access to a lot of different tools and resources, even the ones we are discussing today. Now, there's also Google Workspace for nonprofits. So if your organization started using Gmail accounts and you're a nonprofit organization, you may reconsider and actually apply for Google Workspace for nonprofits. It's free to nonprofit organizations, but it dives into more administrative tools where a coordinator can actually issue email accounts with your organization domain name, gives you access to different tools and platforms as well. Then there's also Google Workspace for Education. So if you're a school board or college, sometimes you are using those tools. The fundamentals package is free, but there's also a paid version of it. And then there's Google for Business. So if organizations cannot apply for nonprofit or education, very often they will actually purchase a license. And I remember when they were like $4.95 per month, but now it's $9.20 to start with. And then standard packages that are a bit bigger are $18 to $19 a month per user. So you get a fairly big package with different tools and resources. But the reason I'm also mentioning that is that sometimes we will discuss different features like Google Meet, and you can use Google Meet with your nonprofit account, with your Gmail account, educational account. But we get questions about recordings. And in Google Meet in nonprofits, you cannot record. So if you're looking for some specific features, sometimes they may not be included in the package, and then you may have to pay extra. But as a nonprofit, you will get discounted rate. So you may not be paying $9 or $18. You will be paying around $5 to upgrade to the standard version. If you need that recording, there are also third-party tools that you may want to use. But this is just kind of to make sure that I notify you that when I'm looking at the tools or the tools I'm discussing, I'm using Google Workspace. So this is an organizational account, and my discussion and then features that I'm sharing with you are within that Google Workspace account. They may not be in your Gmail account. Also, I use a Mac. So some of the screen captures will be from the Mac environment. And if that's confusing, let me know. I try to make it as simple as possible. Okay, so let's dive in. We have 20 something minutes left. What I really wanted to start with is Google Vids, and it's like Google Videos. And when I was saying that sometimes we don't even know about the tools that are becoming available, that was the same story for us. It just started popping up as a notification on my screen that this Google Vids was available to me. And at some point one day, I just said, what is this? I need to explore it. So I clicked on it, and it took me into a specific application called Google Vids. If you're starting or exploring AI tools, you may already have been using some of the AI platforms to generate videos or images or put in prompts. This is Google's version of it, but it started to be added to some of the applications you already have access to. And on the right side, if you're questioning, do I have access to this? Even users with @Gmail accounts should be able to access the Google Vids platform. So I just want to make sure that you know that because it may be an interesting tool for you to try. Now, you will say, okay, how do I start? Where do I go to access it if I haven't seen it in my tools? So if you know me, you will know that I usually go with the domain address. And with Google products, you will have vids.google.com as an address you can just put in your URL bar, and basically it will find and launch it for you. It may ask you to sign into your account first. But this is usually for me the easiest way, and I always remind everyone if you're using Drive, drive.google.com. If you're using Docs, docs.google.com. If you're using Sheets, sheets.google.com. So whenever you get stuck somewhere or you just want to jump in between and you don't know where, sometimes just knowing that you can type in that address in the address bar makes a big difference for you to move between different applications. Of course, if you're a Google user, you may have a waffle menu. So there's the 9 tiny squares. It looks like a bit of like a waffle menu. If you click on it, it should start popping up for you on the screen as well. You click on it and it will open. Or if you are in Google Drive and you click on New, you will start noticing that between the different applications you may be familiar with, Google Vids is in there as well. So many different ways to access this tool. And what does it do? So let's kind of talk about what will you see when you land on it. So if you're using different applications like Docs and Sheets, you will see a plus symbol that allows you to create something new. Same here, you have a plus symbol to start a new video. And then I took a screen capture of something when I started to play with. I created a video of a cat and then a bit of AI is changing our lives. Those are my short videos that I created. They're sitting in my dashboard so I can access it at any time. But when I click on that plus symbol, what will happen? I will get a pop-up. And the pop-up is going to give me different options that will allow me to create videos. So quickly, just to go through some of them. VO3 is the AI tool that Google is using to create videos with you. And he will let you create around 8 seconds videos based on a prompt. So you can ask it to create something and it will create it. So one of my videos I created was a cat, and I just went and I said, I want to see a cat walking on a grass towards me and meowing at the end. And a few minutes later, I have the video of the cat and it's saved in my system. Anything you create in Vids gets saved in your Google Drive, so you can always go back to it. So that is the actual AI tool, but it gives you other options. So when you look at the storyboard, it allows you to basically create an outline of what you want, add pictures and images, whatever you want, even record your voice, and it helps you create a video that way. There's also AI avatars. What they are is like if you don't want to record yourself giving instructions to your learners, you can actually use an avatar that they have with a specific voice. You can write the prompt of what they have to say, and that avatar it will say it for you. It will be part of the video recording. You can also record yourself. So just even that, if you're looking to record instructions for your learners or part of the video you're doing, you can click record, record your audio, and use that file for different videos as well. So there's a question in the chat. Does every account package have access to AI? Yes, it's part of the whole thing. And actually, this vids thing is basically part of the AI that they're using. So it's built in, like you can't really separate it. It's part of it. Now, you can also upload your recordings, videos, and things like that. And you can add templates and even your own slides. So when you upload your own slides, it will let you take the slides that you have and then basically add animations, transitions, and everything, and even your audio to it. So sometimes you may be using PowerPoint right now to create presentations like that. You may be using other tools that allow you to create videos. If you haven't tried this one, try it because it's built in into your Google account. So what I did, just to quickly show you, I created blank vid. So I just clicked on that. And on my next slide, you're going to see my prompt was a person canoeing on a lake and looking at fall colors. It's the fall. We are looking at the fall colors. Maybe that could be an opener for your discussion today. So I put in that prompt. It spanned for 100 steps and just a kind of 100 seconds. And I got the video. It's a short video. I can't play it here because I just did a screen capture. But if you go to the link, I can put the link for you in the chat. You will see it's a video, may not be the perfect one, but it will be something you can try and explore for yourself or the learners. And they even added a sound of the water in that video. So it just creates it for you. And then you can add another prompt, add the video to it. You can put those things together. On the right side, you have options to add avatars to the video, options to add different scripts. You can add audio, you can add text, you can add stock images, you can add your own images. All that is on the right side. It took me maybe 2, 3 tries to kind of get comfortable with the tool. But then after it's saved, you can download it as an MP4 file if you want to share it with someone, or you can just really play with it and generate different images for discussions. And if you are comfortable with your learners trying to do tools like that, why not involve them and give them a chance to create videos within that environment as well? So it's a new tool. It's kind of interesting. I think I really want you to try it and see if you like it for yourself. And then, it could be a discussion opener for some of the work you're doing. Or if you're focusing on specific topics, you can create short videos that can go with what you're teaching in the lesson as well. I can see some of you are enjoying it and liking it. Try it and let me know what you think, either in the chat later or you can email me as well. One thing I also want to just mention is when you are trying the tools, there are also templates. So Susan is asking for the cat. I will put that link a bit later for you if you would like. But the templates they have, it's not just one pagers. It's actually a full layout that you can use with different transitions. So in my screen captures, I just showed you can go on a different template, you can select it, and you can insert all the slides. But of course, you can edit those templates. So the one I chose as as an option was feedback, and you could potentially create a quick video explaining how you gather your feedback or how to fill out a Google form online. You can actually create instructional videos from that. And then it already has transitions which you can keep or you can change as well. So there's a lot of different things you can try in Google videos. Now, I'm very mindful of time, so you will see me jumping, and I'm jumping to a different tool in Google. I'm going to take a pause and let you know that I'm now jumping into Google Docs. So if you are using Google Docs a lot, one of the things you may have noticed in your Google Docs, when you start a new document, there's this section on top of the document that allows you to do something. But I don't know if you ever tried it. I noticed that myself. I kind of see something, but just kind of ignore it. I don't have time to do it. But then when you pause, it's like, oh, what is this? Maybe this could be useful. So when you start a new Google document, on top of the document, it's a blank document, you will see something called templates. When you click on it, it's going to pop up different templates for you to choose. And it could be FAQ page, it could be memo, it could be all kinds of different layouts that you can start with. So you're not starting from scratch. You can actually repurpose different layouts that the system gives you. And there's a lot of them to choose from. Now, not only that, there's also something called email draft. If you ever go back to your Google Docs, look for it. This one is kind of interesting because when you click on it, within your Google document, it's going to insert this box and it's going to be empty. It will just ask you what person do you want to put in there. So when you click on it, it will drop down a list of names and you'll be able to select. So I selected Alan, and then you can do CC, BC, and you can draft the entire email that you may want to send out to someone directly in Google Docs. And when you're finished, at the end, next to it, there's this blue tiny icon. When you click on it, it allows you to review that email, that draft, in your Gmail account. So you would actually transition, twist it to the content, the subject line. It will move it into your Gmail account. You check it, and then you send it. So rather than drafting everything in your email, you may want to draft in Google Docs, and it will, with one click, it will transition everything into your Gmail account and let you send from that draft directly into Gmail. It could be actually good when you're working with learners and you're teaching them writing emails. They could draft those emails in their Google Doc, polish it, work with it, and then send it in Google Drive. So those are called building blocks. You're looking at tools that allow you to do something else. The crazy thing is that there's a lot of those, and we don't even realize they're there. So if you clicked on more, in the building blocks, you will have options. So you could create meeting notes and it will kind of give you a layout for that. Task tracker, where you can have a sheet of tasks that you may want to do. Again, if you're working with your learner, you could build a task list for this week. This is what I need to do. I may need to review this document or I may need to follow up with something. You can teach your learners building task lists using some of the templates or building blocks that exist in your Google Docs. And there's more for communications, for meetings, there's polls, there's all kinds of things there. And if you don't want to start directly in the document, you can also start from insert. So when you're in Docs, if you click insert, you will see building blocks in there and they will build out on some of the tools I just showed you. One of them could be the email draft. Another one would be calendar event. So if you're planning an event for yourself, let's say Christmas party, you could actually start planning it in your Google Doc with the different fields. You can also add tasks to it using the task tracker where you can put the name of the person, the calendar, and everything. And next to those, you will see icons. The top icon is going to add the entry to the Google Calendar, and the lower icon is going to ask it to add it to the tasks you have to do in your Google applications. So it's kind of merging a lot of things for you to use as you're using Google products. It's kind of interesting when you start testing it. So I really want to suggest that you try it. If you go to building blocks in slides, so I'm jumping from docs to slides, there's even more. So you're creating your presentation, you look for building blocks under insert, you will get all kinds of different layouts and designs that you can use in your presentation. From agendas to lists, different layouts and options you can try. Let me show you quickly. I just went through the first one. Agendas, lists, key statistics, quotes, and so on. Those are kinds of groupings they have. And then I just inserted different things. So the first one was an agenda, so it can have nice visual view for your agenda for the meeting. The second one is sort of statistics. So I can say we had 80 people registered today, but more visual. And I didn't have to spend any time actually designing it. It's right there for me to choose. There are also pop-outs and call-outs and quotes and things you can choose. So if you are exploring the blocks, go and look at them because there's so many of them in the slides. Okay, so in the docs and in the slides, you're going to see those building blocks. Now, how many of you are using appointment schedule? If you're using appointment schedule, can you just put thumbs up in the chat for me so I can see if any of you have tried it before? So in the chat, just put thumbs up. If you haven't tried appointment schedules, it's good to know about them as well. So if you're using Google Calendar, and I don't see, oh, some of you are trying or using it, perfect. But if you haven't, if you go to your calendar under Create, if you drop it down, you're going to see an option to do appointment schedule. You click on that, It will take you through different options. You add the title, how long you want the appointment to be, and then the scheduling windows. This is, let's say you may want to have walk-ins for your clients, and you can create a calendar that on Mondays from 9 to 4, I have walk-ins and you can book appointment with me. So that's the tool you can use it for. Or your organization may choose to have a calendar like that. You select different features and options. You can even switch calendars if you have more than one. So it doesn't have to be your primary calendar that you have. You can create one specifically for your program's walk-in days and then have that appointment schedule in there. After you choose all the options and click next, you're going to be the system will add all those options into your calendar, and then you will be given a link that you can send to anyone that you want to have a booking. So it could be sent to your learners, it could be sent or posted on your website as a button, and anyone can click on it, and the calendar will open for them and they can make a booking. So let me show you. If they follow the link as a user, they will follow the link and they will see options. 10:30 o'clock, I can book a meeting with a person. I'm going to select it. I'm going to put my information into it, username, password, and email. Sorry, first name, last name, and email. And then they will be sent a verification code to confirm that this is a real person. They verify it. And from now on, they get an email saying, your appointment with Monica has been booked. It's in your calendar. It's already added. And then you can basically have the booking done. On your end, if you are the actual person organizing the bookings, in the calendar, the system is going to add a new note saying you have a time booked with the person that's requesting the booking, and you will also receive an email notification. So I can see some of you have to jump into the meetings. I totally understand. You will have the recordings of this, so you will be able to continue and review the rest of the slides. But if you are looking at appointment schedules or kind of having time with your learners, with your clients, consider looking at appointment schedules in your calendar because they can be very handy. Now, some of you, when you're in Google Drive, may have noticed that there is this activity showing up right in the drive. And a lot of questions are coming up. What is this thing? So I just want to mention and kind of remind you that whenever you're interacting in your different applications, for example, in Google Docs, people can tag you or mention you in some of the different messages or comments. Whenever they share something with you, whenever they mention you or assign something to you, you will get activity notification by email. But if it was a while ago and you really haven't gotten to it, it may be hard to find in your emails. So what Google is doing is trying to pull all those things you're supposed to follow up on in the activity tab. And for me, it may be the Christmas party planning document that I was mentioned in, and I need to follow up on that so I can go and open it, or I can look at the documents that were shared with me. So if you ever wonder what's the activity in your Google Drive, that's what it's for. You need to be mentioned. So if I was in that Christmas document when people are planning different things and they want to do activities, they may have had assigned me, just mentioned my name and said, can you come up with some ideas for that? I get notification and then I go to the document and I can continue working on that. It could be that I will be asked to review the document or provide feedback on the document. Anytime somebody just mentions my name, that activity gets filled in with a reminder there's something for you to follow up on. So that's activities for you. Now, I also mentioned that there will be smart chips. And again, new vocabulary for us. We may not be even familiar with that, but if you're a teacher and you're working with learners or doing all kinds of different activities, explore the smart chips. It's in Google Docs. You go to Insert and you can select smart chips. So what I did, I just looked at the different options. There's a smart chip for date, people, file, calendar event, place, vote, stopwatch, timer, and so on. So I opened a Google Doc and I literally just inserted them in to see how they work. What's amazing is it allows you to create dates, mention or notify people with their contact information. You can insert files and documents into documents. So, rather than putting a link, you can actually just do a chip and it will link to the document for you. You can do bookings with the calendars right in there. You can put locations as the chip so people can click on that. You can even do voting. So when this hand with the hand app is there, people can click on it and then say yes or one or two or three. People can vote with those chips in a document. So in the staff meetings, it's lessons with your learners, you can add those in with the timers and they will actually count down if you put them into your document. So smart chips can be really neat and different as well. Try them out. Now, I have two more things for you. One of the things you notice is in Google Forms, many people don't like to see that there is an email address popping up. So what Google has done, it actually allows you to turn it off. It allows you to disable that email showing up in the account. And when you turn it off, it will just say saving is disabled because one of the reasons why that email is there is basically saying if you are in Google Form and you're signed in, I'm going to save where you were so you don't lose the information. If you're not signed in, you will lose that information. So it's Google's way of kind of saving and helping you manage this form, but many people don't realize what it is and they get frustrated. So if you ever want to turn it off, oh, sorry, I jumped too fast. Let me just go back. You will be able to go into your Google Save and remove that. And now I'm just looking for my slide. It may be in the next one. Give me 1 second. Oh, no, I probably lost it. So I'll add it later. But there is a feature to show you how to do that in Google Forms. So I just misplaced my slide. So I apologize for that. Now, one more thing I just wanted to show you is AI in Google search. There was a question earlier. Is AI in some of the work you're doing? It is in some of the applications you're using, but it is also in your Google search. You may have noticed that anytime you go to the browser and search for something, you start getting AI responses. And what AI is doing is kind of searching different information and bringing the information to you, displaying it to you. Don't always believe what it says because sometimes it may not be true. So you may want to check your sources, but it does give you the sources as well. So it will actually say where the information is from and actually list them and allow you to click on that information. So it reverses your search process. Before you actually got all the results and you clicked on them and you pulled the information one by one, what AI is doing it for you. But you may again be mindful of what information is there because sometimes it could be wrong. But if you click on show more and go all the way to the end, you will even have an option to dive deeper in AI mode directly in your browser. And it will give you more options. It will actually allow you to ask questions as well, right within your browser. So things are changing, things are coming in with different features, different options. And 1 o'clock is the timing I need to finish today. So I know it was a bit of a marathon for me to run through some of the ideas for you. You have the slides with the different tips and screen captures. You have the links. I'm going to send them to you. And I just want to let you know that there's more Lunch and Learns coming up. There will be a lot of information. There's also a new PD coming out from AlphaPlus on creating Google Sites. We just announced it today. So if you go to your email, if you receive our emails, you will get it. If not, you will be able to find it on our website. And then somebody was asking earlier about the virtual showcase. It's coming up next week as well. So lots of activities coming in. So what I'm going to do, just to make sure that you have a chance to also provide me with the feedback, I'm going to post the feedback and links to other resources and sessions that are coming up. If you will be kind to just give me your feedback on the session and the topics we covered, ideas for future topics, let us know. Let me know what else we can do to help you learn new features and new tools as we are going. I am always very mindful that this is 30 minutes and I have to run through it to give you as much as possible. But follow up later. I will be very happy to follow up one-on-one if you would like to do that. And I know, Susan, you asked me to share the CAD video with you, and I will do that in the slides as well, or I can send it to you as a follow-up. It's a very basic one,